Hi.
Ruha Taslimi.
Hello.
And Beth May.
Hi.
And joining us as always in the fact checker room is Brian David Gilbert.
Hello, hello.
And I am legally obligated to state that he is not forced to live here. He does it because he wants to.
Much like a vampire, I haven't seen the sun in years.
All right. We have a couch of Buffy fans. How into Buffy would you say you are?
Extremely.
I grew a new heart.
I think I'm a really big fan unless I get no points, in which I'm like, I've seen it.
I think we're all afraid of being absolutely embarrassed.
Yeah,
You know, I'm like, I know it, but I
think I
rewatch
do.
it a lot. But
Yes.
Jeremy, you've worked on Buffy properties before, right?
Yes.
What did you do?
I wrote some
outta here.
Buffy comic books.
Okay. Well, this is good because it basically means that if Jeremy loses, he will never be brought back on that job
this
ever
is
again.
done.
This is a job interview that I'm going to fail.
Fantastic.
Yeah. All right. I have here a stack of statements. These are incorrect statements about properties that you know and love. And it's up to you to find out what's wrong, buzz in, and correct me. You must state actually before giving your correction or I can't give you the point and someone can steal it. You can interrupt me at any time and that's all I need to say. Let's start with your first statement. In Once More with Feeling, the Demon Sweet cast a spell that causes the residents of Sunnydale to burst into song and dance, effectively trapping them in a musical. Some of these songs cause his victims to spontaneously combust, while others force characters to reveal truths about themselves they would have otherwise kept secret.
Actually, they are not forced to reveal secrets.
That is incorrect.
Okay.
Actually, it's the demon sweet that combusts at the end.
no.
That is
Okay, good.
incorrect.
Actually, the demon sweet is not casting a spell. Someone else cast a spell to summon the demon sweet, who was Xander, and the demon
That
himself
is-
just causes the residents to burst into song
That
and
is
dance.
correct.
Oh,
So
okay.
it wasn't the Demon Sweet casting a spell. It was Demon Sweet's presence that was causing that to happen. So, Ruha, that is a point for you.
Yay!
Now you see how pedantic we're going to
Yes.
get.
Yes. Yeah,
Now you
that's a good
understand.
one. Yeah, you know. No need to break down now. On to your next statement. Dawn Summers is also known as the Key, a mystical energy that can open portals to different dimensions. The Order of Dagon turned the Key into a young girl, then sent her to Buffy. In order to make sure the Slayer would protect the Key from the demon Glory, they altered reality to make everyone believe that Dawn was Buffy's younger sister.
Actually, it was monks, not the Order of Dagon. Wasn't it a Dagon sphere?
That is incorrect.
Oh, I know it.
Ruha,
Actually, Glory is a god, not a demon.
that is correct. Glory is a god,
Alright.
not a demon.
This is going to be such a fast episode with you three on the couch. I feel like we are going to rip through these ones. It's astounding.
As someone who's not deep in Buffy, what was all that?
Okay, so like season 5,
Yeah.
which
A classic.
is one of my favorite seasons. It might be my favorite season. I mean, like season 3 is great too.
5 and
5 are really up there.
I'm season 2 and 3, but that's
And,
cool. That's
but
cool.
season 5, out of nowhere, Michelle Trachtenberg's there and his Buffy
Yep.
sister.
Yeah.
And at first you're like,
What? Who is that?
Why would they
Who
just
is
make
that?
us believe that there was a sister that
Yeah.
wasn't here this whole time?
No.
You find out within a few episodes that like she wasn't there before
Mm-hmm.
and that everyone's been given these memories of her.
Yeah. And they
And-
had to make her a sister so that Buffy would protect her.
Yeah.
Isn't that beautiful?
So they just played it off as if she's been there the whole time.
At
Or-
first.
time.
At
Yeah.
first,
At
but
first.
then
And
you
then-
know, there's
So now that is Ruha with 2 points, donuts for Beth May and Jeremy, but still a lot more show. So
Yes,
let's
there
move on
is.
to the next
Oh, okay.
statement. The vampire Angelus was known as the most evil vampire in history. Responsible for siring Spike, Drusilla, and Darla, Angelus was eventually cursed by the Kalderash, a Romani community, with the return of his soul. Haunted by his past misdeeds, he changed his name to Angel and fled to the United States.
Actually, Angelus, Angel, did not sire Darla. Darla sired Angel.
Wow, that is correct.
Yep.
That is a point for Jeremy. Yeah, that is you. I don't even have to say it. You said it how we wrote it. Yeah.
Wow.
For any people watching it about to jump into Buffy, how important do you think it is to watch the Angel series along with Buffy?
I haven't watched Angel.
Whoa.
That's cool.
I've tried. I haven't, but I'm gonna.
I
We had to
respect
chat
that.
about it
We-
earlier.
we
because I
discussed
was
this.
like, how do I do it? How do I get through it? Because I know it gets good.
Yeah.
I know it
Yeah.
does.
I like Angel a lot. I think it's cool if you watch it in the broadcast order. So you
Yeah.
watch an episode of Buffy and then the
Yeah,
episode
that's
that
what.
came out.
Yeah.
I can do that.
But the crossover episodes and
Yeah.
stuff like that. I think if you're a Faith fan like I am, some of her best stuff is on Angel.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And I know, and I'm a Spike fan too, and I believe
Yep.
Spike comes
There's
to
He
Angel.
does.
so much good
And
stuff.
I love
in Spike.
Cordelia, and I know Cordelia's on Angel.
Yeah.
Speaking of boys show and girls show, did you see that they've made a gender bent Twilight now where I read the foreword, which was really sweet because she was talking about how in Twilight everyone felt like Bella was this, damsel in distress, and she didn't feel that way. So she was like, well, then I made a version where the roles are reversed to see if you feel that way, which is like super heartfelt and a great way to get money from your fans.
Life and Death by Stephanie Meyer. This is
Yes.
the gender bent version, which I think is so great because it's like, why don't you just monetize your own fanfic?
Yeah,
Why
yeah.
don't you? Like everyone else is already doing it.
Yeah.
Why not get a little cut yourself?
sure.
Well,
Yeah.
I've got a question about that. Like, in the vampire baseball scene, does Edward have to hide his hair?
Yeah, is it
must
just
be.
like every specific?
Yeah.
Scene for scene, shot for
Scene
shot.
for scene,
Actually,
shot for shot.
none of the dialogue changes.
Yeah.
Everything's
Whoa.
I have no
That would be
idea.
really funny.
I totally fell for that. I was like, oh my God, really?
It's because I'm in this chair. This is the only reason why.
Believe anything you said.
This next statement is a fan-submitted statement by Leisure Suit Link.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Buffy's main gang of Scoobies are each powerful in their own right besides Xander. Willow and Tara are powerful witches. Oz is a werewolf, and Giles is a watcher with arcane knowledge. Ruha.
Actually, Giles is technically not one of the Scoobies.
Oh, that's,
that's a good question.
interesting.
That isn't what is incorrect
Okay.
in this statement.
Actually, Xander is powerful in that he's the one who sees things, according to Caleb.
That is correct.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So, actually, Xander starts off without any special abilities, but in season 2, episode 6, Halloween, the characters turn into real versions of their Halloween costumes. Xander, an army guy, somehow retains some of the knowledge from that episode and utilizes it several times later in the show, like when he obtains a rocket launcher to fight the judge.
I like how nobody else from that episode retains any knowledge
Yeah.
of what they were, but
No, but
like
Xander's
Xander,
army
it's
guy
so
forever.
convenient
Yeah,
that
yeah.
His power is that he knows how to use a gun, which is
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
that's great. I'm glad for you there, but
Look, if you've seen the new season of Demon Slayer, that is definitely a superpower is gun, having a gun.
Yeah.
I think Xander's biggest power is his heart, though. And I think
Yeah.
that's proven twice on the show.
in Primeval, he's
Yeah.
the heart.
yeah. In
Yeah.
Primeval, he's the heart, and he's the one who stops Willow.
Well,
Yeah, that was a big moment.
yeah.
Talk about tears.
Yeah.
Well, that is a point for Beth May on the board.
I will
Look,
also just mention that according to the internet, Giles is a part of the Scooby Gang. He's just as part of the founders, right? So he is still involved in this space.
this brings us to our first shiny question of the game. Shiny questions are just like shiny Pokemon. They're worth the same, but they're just a little bit different and a little rarer, okay? This one is called Know Your Demons. All three of you have paddles in front of you. On one side, it says Buffy. On the other side, it says Angel. So in this mini game, we're going to show you a photo of a demon, and you have to tell us if they were featured on Buffy or its spinoff, Angel. Whoever gets the most correct gets the point for this shiny question. Let's show our first demon. All right, everyone got that correct. This is Kakistos, which is an ancient vampire hunting Faith in the first episode of season 3.
Actually, it's not the first episode of season 3.
Ooh.
It's Faith, Hope, and Trick.
Beth, you were 100% correct. It is Faith, Hope, and Trick. You nailed both the name and the
And that's the win.
That was
That's
beautiful.
the win in my heart.
If you
and that's
all
the win in my
tie, I
heart.
think
Oh,
that
yeah,
that
I was
goes
going
to
to say, if it's a tie, I think we're going to have to
Yeah.
give it to you. That's
Okay,
the tiebreaker.
I agree.
Yeah.
All right.
Full support.
Let's show our next demon. That is another point for everyone. Yes, Lorne is originally introduced in Angel Season 2 as the owner of a demon karaoke bar and becomes the main character for the rest of the series. I like that, Ruha, as someone who has not watched Angel, you're just going based off of people you've done.
Angel.
Okay.
I've seen some Angel,
Okay.
and I have tried to watch it.
Okay, so
But also, yeah, if I don't know them from Buffy.
yeah, it's like Angel.
Like, not on Buffy.
Let's show the next demon. Ruha, you are incorrect. This
Killed by
is
death.
That's
yes,
the-
Dur Kindestad is
Yeah.
featured in episode 18 of Buffy season 2, and also My Nightmares.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Because that's the Hat Man. That's
Yeah.
when you
That's
take
the
too much
Hat Man in
the
Benadryl.
hospital.
It's the one
waiting
killing the
for it.
kid.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's waiting for it. He's
Yeah.
like, yeah.
It's the kid killer.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's the kid killer.
As soon as I did Angel, I was like, wait.
Yeah.
You might have like blocked it out of your brain.
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
know?
I do
yeah.
do that.
Yeah. I mean, well,
I'm very aware
yeah.
I do that.
All
so.
right, let's show your next demon. All right, everyone got that one correct. The Beast is featured in season 4 of Angel and notably blocks out the sun in LA for several episodes.
Vampire Playground.
Oh, yeah. He's
Kind of had
just
a similar build to a little Giles demon action.
Yes.
Which is what threw me for a
Yes,
second.
when Ethan Rain
Yeah.
turns
Yeah.
Giles into that demon.
Hey! Oh,
Yeah.
look at him.
It's just a long way of saying this demon's hot. Like,
Yeah, all
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
yeah,
that's
Giles
big.
in any form
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
hot.
The end of that was going to be.
Let's get the next demon up.
Is this a trick question?
Yes.
because
Can I
kind of.
do one of those?
I mean, everyone picked Buffy first. We'll give you that right. Clem is a friendly demon who occasionally plays poker with Spike and is on good terms with the Scooby Gang.
Does he visit Angel?
I think he does.
That's what's
I just
in my
assumed
brain.
when he left Sunnydale that maybe he went
For
there.
some reason, I was like, I feel like this is
Yeah, I
both.
could be wrong, but I thought he was in an episode.
That
of
was my
Angel.
initial instinct.
But I do know him from Buffy.
Yeah,
there you
I
go.
I just had a
Buffy,
feeling
at
that
least.
he's so likable that he might have gone to
Yeah.
Angel.
We're going to go ahead and we're going to show another demon. Let's go. Yep, that is correct. This is the demon suite we were talking about earlier. I didn't know he was a black demon. I got to tell you that much.
Yeah.
It seems like like that's when he sees a big demon booty. You know,
Have you seen this episode?
I haven't seen it.
Okay, so I
Wow.
guess you're gonna have to come over for our
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come to
viewing
karaoke,
and karaoke.
yeah. Let's
go.
Yeah.
Ruha, what would be your Once More with Feeling karaoke song? Like, which one would you sing?
I mean, I want to sing all of them,
Yeah.
but the duet with Giles and Tara,
Oh yeah,
you
the
know,
counterpart.
that they have to leave.
like,
Yeah. What about you,
yeah, I think I would do Giles Standing.
Jeremy?
I mean, Giles.
We're all doing Giles.
Yeah.
I'll do Spike.
I'm an easy mark.
Switch to Spike.
Yeah.
All three of you do it one in a row at
Yeah.
karaoke.
What if I did the Dawn Ballet? And I just like flawlessly, yeah, that'd be sick.
I'm about to start singing right now.
Let's go. All right, let's show this next demon before we break out into song. Everyone is correct about that. Barney is an empath demon from the 10th episode of Angel Season 1 and responsible for the introduction of Wesley Wyndham Price to the series. Wesley, who hasn't been in Buffy since Season 3, follows Barney to Los Angeles to hunt him down.
Okay. And is that the back of Cordelia's head?
Believe so.
Looks like it.
But that's how I knew this was from Angels because of the fridge,
Bridge, yeah.
which I recognized before the demon
Yeah.
as Angels.
All right, let's show your final demon.
This is good because I saw all of you go. I guess it's Angel because I don't recognize this one. This is from The Good Place. It's not involved in either. of those
There we
questions.
All
go.
right, so no good place heads in here.
I watched The Good Place.
Okay.
Wasn't expecting it.
Yeah,
Surprise.
okay, fair enough.
Yes.
And I've
seem
only
very
watched it
good.
once. Okay, so you haven't
Yeah.
watched The Good
No.
Place. Okay. Because it's not just.
Beth, May, and Jeremy, you are tied for the most, but with your correction earlier, we
Yep.
are giving the point to Beth,
Well
May.
deserved.
Thank you.
Let's move on to your next statement. Before training to be a Watcher, Rupert Giles was known as Ripper, a young ne'er-do-well. Giles and his friend Ethan Rain engage in youthful indiscretions like petty theft, joyriding, and using dark magic to summon the demon Egon the Sleepwalker. Though Giles left his past as Ripper behind, he still bears the mark of Egon on his arm. Jeremy.
Actually, the demon Aegon is not known as the Sleepwalker.
That is incorrect.
Actually, only Ethan summoned Aegon.
That is incorrect. Ruha.
Actually, it wasn't before training to be a Watcher?
That is correct. Actually, Giles left Watcher training